What's up YouTube, this is Cody here with iPhoneHacks.com, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to improve your battery life on your iPhone 5S and 5C. Now it's important to note that the iPhone 5S and 5C do have a slightly bigger battery than the iPhone 5, but it's possible that despite the increase of the battery size, you're still seeing a lesser than expected battery life. Now the iPhone 5 had a battery rating of 3.8 volts and 5.45 watt hours. The 5S includes a battery rating of 3.8 volts and 5.96 watt hours, while the 5C has a battery rating of 3.8 volts and 5.73 watt hours. So what this really means is a 25% increase in the usage as demonstrated right here. So you can see here that you have a talk time of up to 10 hours on 3G, and internet usage is up to 8 hours on 3G, 10 hours on LTE, and 10 hours on Wi-Fi. And you can see right down here there is a standby time of up to 250 hours. Now obviously the amount of usage you get out of your battery depends on your usage. So if you listen to music locally from your music app, then it's going to last a whole lot longer than if you were streaming it over, let's say, 3G or LTE or Wi-Fi. To check the usage and standby time since the last full charge, just tap on the Settings app, then General, Usage, and then scroll down to Time Since Last Full Charge section. You can also navigate the settings in cellular usage to find out how much time you were on calls and how much cellular data you have used broken down by app. Now usage is the amount of time the iPhone has been awake and in use since the last full charge. It's considered awake when you're on a call, using email, listening to music, browsing the web, or sending and receiving text messages, or even during certain background tasks such as auto-checking email. So you can see here up in the top right hand corner you obviously have your battery up here, and if you want to know precisely how much battery percentage you have left, then you can enable the battery percentage by tapping on Settings, General, Usage, and then scroll down here to Battery Percentage and toggle it on. Some other tips to extend the battery life is to set up the auto lock interval so that the iPhone will turn off quicker after a period of inactivity. Now to do this, just tap on General, then Auto Lock, and set the auto lock internal to your desired setting. Obviously the shorter amount of time, the less battery consumption. Now one of the most intensive processes that the iPhone Wi-Fi chip has to do is search for available networks. So if this happens on a regular basis, it's going to have a noticeable impact on your battery life. To disable this feature, tap on the Settings, Wi-Fi, and toggle off Ask to Join Networks. Just be aware that if you do this, it will automatically join known networks, but if there isn't one available that it knows, you will have to manually set it. Another tip is to keep your brightness low if possible. You can adjust this in the control center right here, or you can do it in your settings and then tap on brightness and wallpapers and turn it down right here. You also have the option to turn on auto brightness, which will lower the brightness in a dim environment and increase it in a bright environment. Also, if LTE is not available in your area, disable it by tapping on Settings, Cellular, and toggle off LTE. You can also turn off location services for the following system services: diagnostic and usage, setting time zone, and location-based iAds by going into Settings, Privacy, Location Services, and System Services, and just toggle them off right here. If you go into Settings, Notification Center, and scroll down, you can actually turn off the notification features in your Notification Center, including the Today Summary, Next Destination, Tomorrow Summary, and the Stocks widget, so you can save yourself a bit of battery right there. Heat can also degrade the performance of your iPhone's battery, so it's important to keep it out of the sun or in a hot car. Also, if you're on a plane or in an area with no cellular coverage, then go ahead and turn on airplane mode to increase the battery life, and you can do this right here in the control center. Now there's a ton of features for the iPhone 5S and 5C, but some of the features come at a cost of your battery life. So if you don't normally use a certain feature, then you might as well turn it off to conserve your battery. You can start by turning off the dynamic wallpapers if you have them enabled, just by tapping on Settings, Wallpapers, and Brightness, and tap right here just to select a still wallpaper. Also check what apps are using the background app refresh by going into Settings, General, Background App Refresh, and disable the apps that you don't need to wake up in the background and fetch new data. Also, if you want to turn off the motions in iOS 7, such as the parallax effect, you can do so by tapping on Settings, General, Accessibility, and then toggle off Reduce Motion. iOS 7 also automatically updates apps in the background, but if you're not too keen on updating your apps, you can turn this off by going to Settings, iTunes and App Store, scroll down to Automatic Downloads section, and turn off the update switch. Also, to save a little bit of battery, if you don't use Bluetooth that much, then you can turn it off in the control center just by swiping up here and tapping on the Bluetooth toggle. Also review the list of apps that are using location services and disable it for apps that you think can be used without tracking your location. Do this by going into your settings, privacy, and location services. Also, if you check multiple email accounts on your iPhone, enable push for the most important email accounts, and for other accounts, fetch emails manually if possible for better battery life. Spotlight searches a lot of types of content like applications, contacts, music, podcasts, mails, events, etc. But you can selectively tell iOS to only search across content that you want by going into Settings, General, and then Spotlight search. Also, these days, most apps use push notification service to alert you of new data, which can impact battery life. So if you have these all enabled, then it's a good idea to go and review the apps that have push notifications enabled. Do this by going to Settings, Notification Center, and disable notifications for the selected apps. You can also turn off Siri's Raise to Speak feature if you don't use it that frequently. Do this by going to Settings, General, Siri, and then Raise to Speak. Also, if we go back one page and you're not even using Siri or you don't use it that much, you can disable it right here, and that way it'll save some of your battery life. If you have a personal hotspot and you're not using it, you can turn that off by just going into Settings and turning off your personal hotspot. You can turn off your equalizer setting for song playback and do so by going into Settings, Music, and EQ right here. Now here's some troubleshooting tips. If you all of a sudden see a degradation in your battery life, it could be due to an app just hogging all of your battery. So if you haven't restarted your iPhone for a while, the easiest solution is to restart your iPhone. Now if you've figured out which app it is and you want to close it, then just do so by double tapping on the home button, bringing up your app switcher, and then closing out that particular app right there by swiping up. Next, you could try restarting or resetting your iPhone. Just do this by holding down the sleep wake button and the home button at the same time for about 10 seconds until the Apple logo appears, and then you can let go. Next is resetting your network settings. You can do so by going into Settings, General, Reset, and then Reset Network Settings. This will reset all network settings including password, VPN, and APN settings. If you've tried everything else, then you could try restoring your iPhone as new. If you set up your iPhone by restoring from backup, then the battery life problems could be due to some issue with the backup. Try to restore your device by going to Settings, General, Reset, erase all content in Settings, and set it up as a new phone. But before you do this and reset all of your settings, make sure that you make a backup through iTunes. Now, if none of this stuff works and you're seeing a very short battery life, there could be a problem with your battery. So go ahead and make a Genius Bar reservation and have Apple look at it for you. There's also battery maintenance, and Apple actually advises users to go through at least one charge cycle per month, which basically just means charging up the battery to 100% and then letting it completely run down to 0%. But as you guys can see, there's quite a few ways to extend the iPhone battery life, but it comes at a cost of sacrificing some of the features and user experience. So tailor this guide to your liking, and hopefully you'll see an improvement in your battery life. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more of my videos, then go ahead and subscribe. Alright guys, until next time, this is Cody with iPhoneHacks.com.